Alright, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I have probably the coolest book ever that I've ever featured on a bodybuilding library episode. So this book is Mr. Olympia, The History of Bodybuilding's Greatest Competition by Joe Weider. And the special thing about this book is the fact that it's signed by pretty much every Mr. Olympia winner from the golden era of bodybuilding. So let me open this up for you here. I mean, we've even got it signed by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. So I want to give a shout out to Tony Christ, who's the guy that gave me this book to do the video on. This guy was a friend of my dad's that had been working out with my dad for probably the past 30 years they've known each other. So here we have Arnold Schwarzenegger's signature right here. There we have Sergio Oliva's signature. I'm not too sure whose signature that is, but it looks kind of like Franco. So again, I'm not too sure on this signature here, but this signature is Reg Park right here. So throughout this book, there's just a lot of signatures sprinkled in the pages. So we're going to go through the entire book and try to find every signature that's in here because there's a lot of cool ones. So again, we have Ben Weider, so that's Joe Weider's brother. I don't really recognize that signature. We have Vince Taylor, the 5-time Masters Olympia champ. I think that's Joe Gold's signature right there. I'm not too sure whose that is. If you recognize any of these signatures, please let me know. So I know we have Joe Weider right here on the opening page next to that little Joe Weider logo right there, so that's very cool. We're going to try to flip through here rather quickly. Again, I don't want to miss any of the signatures, but there's a lot of signatures kind of sprinkled throughout the pages. So basically what this book does is it goes through kind of all the Olympia competitions from the very beginning with Larry Scott, who won the very first Olympia ever in 1965. And there's Larry Scott's signature right there next to Larry Scott's photo. So again, just very awesome. I can't believe how many signatures that Tony was able to get in this book. I'm kind of jealous that he has this many. So I'm guessing this is Dave Draper's signature right here. Although he didn't actually sign Dave Draper. He signed Thanks Tony and Train Hard next to his photo there. Dave Draper never won a Mr. Olympia competition. There's Larry Scott again. So there's Bill Pearl. So a lot of you guys have probably seen my videos on Bill Pearl. He wrote the book The Keys to the Inner Universe. He's also a 4-time NABA Mr. Universe champion. There's all kinds of little letters and mementos in here as well as information about the Olympias. There's all kinds of little stuff that you've never seen before. So I'll probably make some videos on some of that stuff as well. Some photos of Sergio Oliva in here. And we've got Sergio Oliva's signature on the front cover. There's Arnold and Sergio. So Arnold and Sergio were basically rivals throughout the late 70s, the early 70s and the late 60s rather. There we have Reg Park again. So here we have Dave Draper, Reg Park, and Arnold Schwarzenegger all in one photo. That's a pretty legendary photo there. There we have Arnold and Sergio. That's the 1970 Mr. Olympia, I believe. The following year in 1971, Arnold would be the only one that would show up. There should be some photos in here from that. So these are from 1971. So what year was this? 1972. So I've done a video on 1972 as well. A lot of people believe that Sergio should have won that show. Some people think that 1972 was one of the more controversial Olympias of all time. So here's some photos from 1971. So that's the year that Arnold competed uncontested. He was the only competitor to show up, due to the fact that the IFBB implemented their non-sanction policy that year, preventing people from competing in rival organizations. So I think Franco was supposed to compete. He got disqualified. Sergio was supposed to compete, and he got disqualified, I believe, for competing in the NABA Mr. Universe competition. So here we have Arnold, Franco, and Serge Nubret. So I believe my dad was telling me that Tony, who got this book signed, he went to some convention or some expo to get the book signed, and Serge Nubret was there with John Gramek. And I guess he got John Gramek's signature in the back, and then Serge Nubret was going to refuse to sign it, and John Gramek told Serge that Tony was a friend of his and he needed to sign the book. So kind of a cool background story to that. There's some photos from 1974, I believe. 1974, a lot of people will say that that is the year that Arnold was his biggest, the biggest physique that he ever brought. I made a video on that year's Olympia as well. Just a lot of cool full color black and white photos. That's the cool thing about these old books. Is some of those black and white photos just show some level of contrast and detail that even the HD photos today don't show. Just that black and white kind of the effect that has on these old school pictures. Really even makes the bodybuilders look more impressive in some cases. There we have Boyer Coe and Boyer Coe's autograph. Very cool. Dennis Tinerino, Robbie Robinson. There we have Ed Corney. Ed Corney's signature right there. There's a picture of Ed Corney. I've done a video on him as well. There's Robbie Robinson. Frank Zane. So yet another Mr. Olympia signature. I mean, it's just crazy impressive how many Mr. Olympias have signed this book. Try to speed this up a little bit. Try to find some more signatures for you guys. Just some amazing photos in here, though. There we have Tom Platz, the legendary Quadzilla, the Golden Eagle. I didn't actually realize there were some color photos in here. That's pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. I see a signature right there. There we have Ed Corney yet again. Tom Platz calves right there. Tom Platz and Franco. There we have the 1982 Mr. Olympia. So I think that's the year that Chris Dickerson won, was in 82. So we should have a Chris Dickerson signature coming up here soon. Unless we passed it. I know there's a Chris Dickerson signature in here as well as a Samir Bannout signature. There's Samir Bannout. So he won in 83. There's Chris Dickerson's signature. So that's 1982 Mr. Olympia Chris Dickerson. So, I mean, again, it's just crazy how many Mr. Olympias have signed this book. I'm kind of jealous of this book. Like I said, man, this is a great piece of bodybuilding history. I'm really happy to be able to share this with you guys. So, again, shout out to Tony Christ for getting this book to me and allowing me to share this with my subscribers. So, finally, in the back, we have Albert Beckel's signature. And here we have John Grameck's signature. So John Grameck was, again, the first Mr. Universe ever. So that is the book, guys. Mr. Olympia, The History of Bodybuilding's Greatest Contest by Joe Weider. So just an incredible book. Again, I wanted to thank Tony Christ for getting this book to me. I'm sure my subscribers really enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more bodybuilding library videos, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.